Welcome back to our Empowerment Exchange. I'm your host, Clayton, and today I'm speaking from a place of honest. I'm speaking from my heart. We had our Community Day event yesterday, a day meant to pour out into our children, to give them joy, to show them mentorship and a sense of belonging. And I will be real with you. I'm not going to say anything I don't mean. I was very disappointed yesterday at that event. I wasn't disappointed in the kids. I wasn't disappointed in the parents, but in the leaders, the Black leaders who said that they cared, who said that they would be there, who said our youth matter, and then never show up. But me, myself, and I, that do not surprise me because our leaders is involved into other things. They rather say, well, look, I'll see you there. I'm going to bring a kid with me. But the thing that really hurt me the most, Sheila, but you know who showed up? I'm going to be honest. A retired white military officer. Listen what I say. A white retired military officer. A man who have no tie in our neighborhood. A man who didn't grow up here. He didn't campaign here. He didn't build a platform here in Independence. But he showed up. He was engaged with our children. He had fun with the kids that was here. He was present. I just need y'all to understand this. And that contrast alone is shocked at me to a point where I can't believe it. You guys said, hey, I'll be there. I sent it all over Tangipahoa Parish. Hey, I said, send another notice if it rains, shine. Come by, get your kids a necktie. It's going to show you. But where the leaders at that talk loud and say nothing. I understand things could happen. But all these church leaders, I hit all the churches. Yeah, we're going to have somebody there. Nobody shows up. Shit.
That's terrible. So let's talk about this, Clayton. Mm-hmm. Commitment. When somebody say they're going to show up and they don't show up, they don't honor their word. First of all,
that's true.
Commitment isn't a title, though; it's a posture. Clayton, your honesty is needed, though. I mean, because commitment is a posture of the heart. People love to call themselves, quote, leaders.
Right.
But you know, and I know, leaders have to be earned and they proven when nobody's watching.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Commitment means they are present. If they said they was going to be there, commitment is consistency, and commitment is sacrifice, Clay.
That's absolutely true.
And for the retired officer, I salute him as my military brother. He didn't come for applause, attention. He came because he saw children who deserve attention and happiness. I mean, some people show up for the kids or the ones that don't look like us, Clayton.
Now, isn't that a coincidence? And when I look at that, Sheila, oh, wow. I mean, why does accountability matter to our youth? And I mean, Sheila, let's you and I dig into accountability. Because some folks think accountability is punishment. It's not punishment. So we want to make sure that we understand accountability means I'm showing love. It's saying to you and to the world, our kids deserve better. And we expect better from the elders who claim to care. When leaders don't show up, I just need you to follow this. When they don't show up, kids notice it. They see who value them and who doesn't. The parents notice. They feel abandoned by all the people who claim to represent them. The community, they lose its trust because of the lack of leadership. And once trust is broken, Sheila, it's hard to rebuild. I mean, you worked in the organization. Many of those guys have lied to you. They broke their trust, and you got to treat them with a long handled spoon because their word is their bond.
Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
Let me say that again. I've always been taught you honor your commitment. Mm-hmm. And if you can't for some reason, you need to let somebody know. But your silence alone speaks power as to what you ain't gonna do, mm-hmm. you know, and what you're not committed to. But let's be honest, Clayton. Our youth, they're already fighting battles.
That's true.
For example, some live in poverty, some have trauma, some living around violence, identity struggles. It's a lot to be a youth this day. School pressure, and biggest thing is social media influence.
That's true.
What you tried to do yesterday was you took them away from that social media, and you and the officer was there with them. They don't need no more disappointment. They looking around and see who's standing there for them.
That's true. Absolutely.
The community failed you and gave you empty promises. But I'm going to say this, and I don't care who hear me. We don't need people to be there just because they're in a certain position or think they're a leader or whatever. We want people to be there because their heart tells them to be there.
Exactly.
And it's the right thing to do. Accountability matters, folks, because our children build a sense of identity based on how adults treat them.
That's true.
We have a lot going on in this world today, and we need to be connected with each other more than ever now. If leaders don't show up for kids and only for the things that they think that gets them highlighted, that's a problem. Because the kids remember who was there when they needed someone to be there. They start believing sometimes their time is not worth it.
You're right.
It's dangerous.
And Sheila, I'll tell you what, you hit the right points just then. And I hope that all your viewers and our audience out there, I really want you to process the message that being sent. Everything shine is not gold. Everything say they are not leader. Sheila, if you understand our leadership book, leaders lead by setting the example for others to follow. If that's the example that I receive by all these, hey, I'll be there and do all this stuff. Hey, I understand things come up, but your word is your bond. You could have sent someone else. Sheila, you must understand. I am not asking for anything. I put out everything. I provide everything. I don't have the kids, but I feel that regardless of whether I have kids or not, they're all our kids. So I reached out above and beyond. And let me speak.
Can I say something before that?
Yes.
I want to say this because I hear it in your voice. It's how disappointed you are. People who claim to be leaders ain't always leaders, Clayton.
That's true. Absolutely.
Just because you have a role or position, God ain't looking at your role and position. God is looking at what you're doing with your heart. How is your heart?
Yes, that's true. And God judge your heart.
Leadership, on the other hand, is earned. Nobody ain't going to respect you just because you in a position.
That's true.
It has to be earned. And those children know who cares. Sorry, I just had to interrupt.
No, and let me speak from my heart, Sheila. I wasn't disappointed because I needed help running the event. No, that had nothing to do with it. I wasn't disappointed because I wanted a crowd. No. That's not what I want. I wasn't disappointed because I believed, that I truly believed, that our leaders care enough to show up for our children. Now, I'm talking real talk. One person can save a kid. One leader can make a difference. One vote can make a difference between winning and losing. So the message that we are carrying, yes, I am very, disappointed, and I invited him.
Mm-hmm.
I reminded them, Sheila, way in advance. I told them what the day meant.
Mm-hmm.
And still nothing went down. And meanwhile, this retired officer, a man who he could have stayed home. He could have stayed home and relaxed, enjoy his Saturday, but he chose to be present. He didn't speak who was going to be there. He didn't ask, what's in it for me? He didn't ask all these questions, Sheila. He didn't ask, will the news camera be out? No. He came there to enjoy. He just came, and he came with joy, with peace and happiness and kindness. He came with humility. He came with a heart to serve, regardless of your race, religion, or your sex, or your national origin.
Mm-hmm.
This is what shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to be there. He well respected, but that's what hurted me, Sheila. It hurted me to my heart. Not that leader didn't show up, but that someone with no connection to our community cared more about the people who claim to represent it.
Wow, Clayton, that's really deep. And that speaks volume of the officer.
Yes.
And I guess our values may be different.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That tells you he valued help being with the kids, being with you. He said he was going to be there, and he showed up.
And he showed up.
Well, let me talk about the cost of leadership. Quote, quote, leadership without accountability.
You say the cost of leadership without accountability?
Yes.
Okay.
So when people who say they're leaders, are held accountable, a few things got to happen, Clayton. When they aren't held accountable, a few things happen. The community becomes numb.
True. Become numb.
Children lose faith in adults. You got to be careful on not honoring your word or not being present. You want something for nothing.
That's true.
Programs in the community lose momentum, and it becomes a cycle of actually neglect. Where are you at for your community? I'm gonna get on my soapbox later, but I'm just gonna do this.
No, you're talking real talk.
Some leaders have gotten comfortable, Clayton. Some are being praised without producing nothing.
That's true. Now that is real talk.
Some are being visible without even being valuable. Why are we calling these people leaders, Clayton? Let me say this. Why are we calling people leaders that are not leading?
Yeah, that's true.
Why are we calling them leaders then?
The way they've been programmed.
They're not leading.
That's right.
Where are they out in the community? Where are they?
And Sheila, exactly. I'm not calling anyone out to embarrass them. You know who you are. You know who you say you are. But sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is. I'm calling them out because our kids deserve better, Sheila. They deserve better. If a retired officer can show up with no agenda, then surely our own leaders can do it also too. And so myself, just a message to the leaders who didn't show up.
Well, let me tell them something. To the leaders who didn't come, we're not trying to attack you. This is an invitation about how Clayton's feel. This is a reminder, and this is a challenge for you to show up and represent your community because your presence matters and your absence was known, noticed, and felt.
That's
your
true.
community is watching you. What you think, Clayton?
Well, look, and let me add this to it, Sheila. The next event is coming. The next opportunity is coming. And I hope, and I truly hope, that you choose differently next time. Because our children deserve leaders who shows up, not for just FaceTime. For all the leaders out there, and I know that sometimes things don't just happen, they happen just. I'm not asking for anything, Sheila. That's why I'm disappointed. Everybody, I contact all the local churches. Hey, if it rains, come by and pick a necktie. I got indoors. But I understand things could happen, but it's not an excuse. Just a friendly phone call, church leaders. We can't make it today. And I understand it. It's not like it was pressure on you. I want to build a community. And I want to say this, Sheila, you can say it in my closing, because our children deserve leaders who shows up. And in closing, I want you to do it.
Words in the closing, because I'm disappointed because they disappointed you. And sometimes, folks, the most powerful thing you can do is look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what am I doing in the community to make it better? Because every person has a share. This is not one person's responsibility. Everybody has a role and responsibility. And if you're not doing your part, you're leaving a gap for our children to fall through that gap. And when you look in the mirror and you decide to serve, you're not just helping the community, you're healing yourself. Serving gives purpose, serving gives connection, and service gives joy. Our children need adults who serve with joy, humility, and consistency.
Look, Sheila, gotta tell you what, I'm glad you're on your soul power, because when you talk real talk, and those out there listening, all the listeners out there, we're not asking you to hear what we're saying. We ask you to listen to what the message being sent, that our own barrier is within our own people. And we need to step back and observe and ask ourselves, and if we want strong communities, we start by showing up for the children every time. And I'm going to say this for all the listeners and the viewers out there. If you're going to lead, you got to lead by setting example. There is a difference between a winner and a loser. A winner always make things happen, and a loser let it happen. That is the difference between a winner and a loser. If you're a good leader, you need to lead by setting example. Not for showtime, Sheila, because you know and I know we practice. Look, many years that you had to show up for your troops. They relied on you as a leader. But you know what? When Sheila's not present, that leadership still goes on, because you have trained them.
Exactly.
So what we have been exposed to, a lot of people may not have been exposed to it. And the message that the bottom line message, we need strong leaders to represent our community. We need strong leaders that can make a commitment, make a plan. Once a month, I want to talk about these kids before they get killed. And Sheila, my heart is saying this. It's too many of our kids are dying on the streets because there is no leaders around. There is no mentors around.
Well, let me interject if I may. Sometimes it doesn't take people who think they're a leader to be a leader. Sometimes it's people who want to help. And this is calling for action for all people. You don't have to have a specific role in the community, because it's been a lesson learned from this past experience that you don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So we accept anybody. You accept anybody that wants to be involved in the community to make the community a better and safe place for our children. Yeah, you could be a mentor or a coach or a teacher. You don't have to be a quote leader. Some leaders think they're leaders when they're not leaders.
That's
I'm gonna get off my soapbox, Clayton.
Because go ahead on, girl. Go. You talking real? Look, you talking real talk. For those out there who are listening, they can feel what you're saying, because if the shoe fit, wear it. If it get too hot in the kitchen, get out of the kitchen, because you're not offending anyone. Most people can justify with you. They can agree with you. So we are here as a team. We are speaking up for those who are unable to speak up for themselves, but we are also speaking up for the community. We all need our help. We all need to stick together, pray together, and learn to believe that we can make a difference. But we got to have leaders that lead by set example. And Sheila, I'm going to close out by asking you this one question. During your military career, do you have a one specific leader that you would never forget in your life because he was a good leader? I know you probably got many of them.
Well, the one that impacted me the most was a general. He made general. He was a major when I met him. He was my supervisor. We were a team. Everywhere he went, I went. For things, he relied on my knowledge, my feedback, and he listened. He listened to what people need.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a leader, he's very humble. But when you have a leader that comes and asks for your opinions and listen to what you have to say, and I said it the Sheila way, not the Sergeant Thomas way, it made a world of difference.
Wow.
So you can see the support for the people and sticking your neck out for people that deserve to be stuck out. So that's what I call a leader. It's by your actions on what you do and how you treat people. How do you get people motivated to do things? If you're calling yourself a leader and you're not out there being visible and walking around talking to people and motivating people to come together and make something happen for the community, you might as well wash yourself out, because you're not a leader in my eyes. You're just a person with a position. God don't look at people with just positions. God look at what you do from your heart.
Amen.
How you serve others and how you serve him.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if I can intervene, this person that made a big difference in your life, do you hear from him and let him know? Because of, I mean, you
showed up at my retirement unexpectedly. One day notice when I retired from civilian service. He showed up, and it's a white guy.
Wow.
And he talked about me in the relationship and what I did for his squadron. He was the commander. He was a group commander. He was commander at Langley, one of the busiest joint force bases in the Air Force. And then he made general. But he did not forget where he came from. He knew the people. The people, folks, the people is what make you become a leader. Not just because you have a title. It's the people. What you did for the people. You don't even have to say leader. That person's a leader without you even saying it.
Exactly.
It's actions on what he did to help others and to serve.
And I'm going to say that it's a lot of this message is for all the students out there at Putnam High School. I want to say this. Words cannot explain, cannot express the joy that I received from all my students from 1995, and how well they tell me how well a good sergeant that I was, and how I made a big difference in their life, and how I led by setting a good example. Sheila, that is priceless when kids can walk up to you and say, "Thank you, Miss Thomas. Thank you, Sergeant All. Man, and you taught me a lot. You were like my dad." That is priceless. And so leaders out there, when you lead by setting example, those people that follow you will never forget you, no matter what you say or what you do. And again, Sheila, I appreciate you sharing that person. That's how you succeeded in the military, because not everybody get a chance to ride around with general. But in the military, you was the general left-hand person.
Right hand.
Right-hand person, because he can
Right.
always right-hand person, because you can always rely on you. Even if I'm not present, Sheila ran the organization.
He was deployed commander. That's what I did. And my job, when you have somebody like that, that's really a leader, you don't tell them a leader, but they are a leader.
Right.
When they take care of you and put their interest in you and believe in you taking care of the squadron and the people and the resources and everything, that gave me pride. I worked my butt off, but you know what? I was proud to do it because I served the people.
Right.
And I served my boss.
Oh, see,
I was committed and I was loyal.
Wow, that's
when you in that position, Clayton, you have to be loyal to the people. You gonna have some bad apples. You treat all of them the same, but you be fair and consistent and get tough love when you need to get tough love.
Yeah, see, that's real tough. Well, look, I want to say to all the audience out there, thank you for listening. We ask you to share it. We ask you to make comments down there. Or anything you want to talk about. I'm thinking that we can invite you on our show and just send us a comment, the good, the bad, the ugly, because we accept, your opinion. But again, Sheila, it's always a pleasure being my co-host, doing this kind of stuff. But our next episode, we're telling our group, please hit the notification button. Let us know how you feel about our subject, because we are here to serve you, and you can believe that we are making a difference all across the world. Until next time, Sheila, you have anything you want to say?
Thank you for tuning in to the Empowerment Exchange. That's why we're here, to empower you and exchange information to you, give you our thoughts and our opinions. But it's always a pleasure to do this, but we also need two-way communication, which is your feedback, because your feedback will empower us and will let us know where we need to do a little thing better or some subjects you may be interested in hearing.
All right. Okay. To the family members out there, until next time, may God bless you. And the only thing that I'm going to say to all my groups out there, you put God first in all the things that you do, and let him fight your battle. We know that we're going through a lot of turmoils and stuff with our kids and our youth, but it's one thing that if we got hope, trust, and faith in God, everything will be all right. Until next time, say your prayers at night, say your prayers in the morning. Don't pray for your family, pray for everybody. Adios.